Police assures maximum security ahead of Akwatia by-election.
Let me also indicate that the military will be only on standby. As and when we need them, then we will deploy them. But if we don't need the military, we will not request for the deployment of the military.
NPP leaders rally Akwatia constituents to honor late MP Ernest Kumi by backing Solomon Esumedu in by-election. Coming up in Channel 1 Business. Bank of Ghana designates digital credit services as non-bank financial institutions. And in Channel 1 Sports, redevelopment of Esipon Stadium nears completion, pitch ready for league matches. Now, the Channel 1 newsroom today is focusing on the Amasaman road. It is a road that many people are talking about. It's a national road leading out of Accra to the eastern and Ashanti and northern regions. And it has been a subject of demonstrations since construction work halted. Over the period, we have seen contractors return to site. So, in Amasaman, in the Ganwest municipality, I have come to assess the road and talk to people who live around here or do business here to ask them how the road is affecting them and also hear from the municipal chief executive on what plans are or what the plans are to address the challenges associated with this particular road. We're in Amasaman now getting views from people on the state of the road here. As you can see, it's a very dusty part of the road. Vehicles maneuvering with a lot of gentility in order not to have their shocks destroyed and other spare parts. This gentleman here has parked his what we call a Kia truck by the road. What is the situation with the road here? How does it affect your business or your car?
As you can see, they are trying to repair it, but sometimes if it rains, it's very difficult for us to pass through. The business is not moving on well. Yes, people are not coming out to pick cars to go and carry their things. So it's really affecting us, but we are praying that they will repair it quickly for us.
They say they are fixing it now. Have you seen the work happening and are you impressed?
Yeah, they are doing it. If you go to Dobro, that area, they are really repairing it. Now the cars can flow through it, but they have to speed up.
Contractor for na basu be ko be 2 weeks ni. Man say half in a week ni. Mo baso. Mo gusu omo ye adwuma gidigidi. Me ka say anim ha omo atu amna kese a omo gusu omo ye adwuma. Nti na omo baso omo asiesie su kakra say car no etimi fa so. Nti mo wogidie say e be siesie ama. Oh, say omo asha say there ye wogidie waroshem. Go senka omo ma de a anana ye gidie de ba si abana a confirm say omo so there ye hu omo there. So
that's one of the drivers using this road, telling us the situation with this particular Amasaman stretch. It is a very difficult and problematic one. So this truck driver here has just stopped me. He said I should come. He wants to talk to me. So I'm going to cross and try and talk to him. Hello, Masa. How are you?
I'm fine.
Where are you driving to?
I'm driving to go Burkina.
This road that we are driving on is what we are talking about. How is the road like?
But the road is no good. And Yakura, this is Mumbai, Queen, can say a bread to do.
Tafaha.
Mifa.
The Aha Kokumasi, you will be here, and I will be in here.
Baby, yes, you are a baby in Yakura. Ah, the corner there in Yakura.
I quite way Omunia then found.
Omuya Queen and my own toy, and Timinanto Boko.
All right, so that is a driver of a long distance car who has just spoken to me. He actually waved at me and stopped his long truck. He's headed to Burkina Faso, our northern neighbor. And, well, you see him setting off and continuing. Very familiar with this road. And he has just waved me to have a conversation with us on the state of the road. Let's go now to the assembly to speak to the MCE for this area. You're watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. I'm Umaru Sandamado. Today we are talking decentralization, local government. Now, yesterday the Minister for Greater Accra and Member of Parliament for Shai Osodokuma constituency met with mayors of the Greater Accra region, i.e. the chief executive for all the local assemblies and local authorities in the Greater Accra region. And she wasn't particularly happy with the progress of development that she's seen in the districts and the various municipalities. She talked about sanitation, complained about major development issues. Now, the Greater Accra region mayors have chosen one among them to be their dean. And so I'm going to have a conversation now with the dean of MMDCEs in the Greater Accra region. He is also the MCE for the Ga West municipality, whose capital is Amasaman. The Honorable Desmond Nai is my guest. You're welcome to Channel 1 Newsroom.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about road. Road is something that almost everybody talks about. You, in particular, your district, the road, the national road that cuts through your district is a major issue that everybody is talking about. What are you doing to fix your road challenges in Amasaman?
When I assumed office, the first initiative I took is to collaborate with my co-MCs, Ganoff and Advertisements in Samom. I brought them together and we went to meet Maripoma contractors, find out what they are doing about it. By then, the road, there was lack of funding here and there, and there were a whole lot of issues. I'm one of the people who pushed them to get everything on track. After that, we arranged for a press conference in collaboration with Ministry of Roads and Highways, and the minister was right there. The press, you were there. We talked about it, and the minister promised that was going to release funding towards the road. He did exactly that. And after that, I was on Maripoma, and I told them they got to do things right. Now that the funds have been released into their chest, it is their responsibility to ensure that they further disperse to people who are implementing it. Because Maripoma is the main contractor, but they have subcontractors who are right there. So I pushed it, I made noise, and thank God, as we speak today, they are right on the road, and I think they have eased the traffic.
So they are working now?
Yes, everything is.
How soon before the road looks very motorable, based on everything they've told you?
Okay. I have had engagement with the senior project manager, the consultants on the road, and they told me that from when they started, I think it's about a couple of weeks now, 2 weeks. However, within 3 months, we want to see blacktop on the road, and they are doing pretty good. So I think that we are on course.
So the Greater Accra Regional Minister, what was she seeking to hear from you people, and what were you able to show to her?
As a matter of accountability, the government holds accountability so dear. So her effort was to ensure that all of us are being held accountable for issues regarding sanitation. And if you bear me out, President John Mahama has also indicated that one of our major KPIs is sanitation. So she was bringing the media closer so that we can engage for the benefits of the public. So that is exactly what we did.
She wasn't particularly happy with how the sanitation situation in the region was. What accounted for that, and how do you as a mayor intend to address that?
Well, sanitation is a priority. And I think that where we are now, our idea and objective is to promote Ghana. And you can bear with me that over the past years, the number of visitors coming from outside to Ghana so high. And one of the best ways to boost tourism, apart from marketing and promotion, is also to ensure that when they come, they feel exactly what they expect, especially sanitation. We want to keep Greater Accra clean, and therefore sanitation is key. And it's a must for every municipality or district to ensure that, yes, we're doing the right thing.
The issue of landfill sites used to be a problem in the past when it comes to fighting or dealing with sanitation. Do we have a working landfill site now to accommodate the whole of garbage that we generate in Accra?
Yeah, these are things that we have to do consultation in. And I know Ministry of Environment is working hand in hand with the municipalities and other partners who have been engaged in that industry. So something comprehensive is going to come out. However, we as MMDCs are given the first-hand opportunity to explore and bring out partners who can actually do the work. You know, we've gone past whereby people get contracts and they go and sit and do it anyhow. But we want to make sure that there's a monetary measure, and when you are given the contract, there should be an allowance in there, like an indemnity clause, whereby if you don't perform, you pay for the failure or mismanagement or inappropriateness of whatever you have done. We want to hold everyone accountable, and therefore we, the MMDCs, we are the number one.
Let's talk about security. And in talking about security, the regional minister had a discussion with you, MMDCs, on street lighting. Tell me what the plan is with lighting in Accra.
Every municipality or district was allocated a number of street lights. It differs based on your size. And I think that what is expected is that those that are not functioning, we will maintain them. So minister called to do like lightning audits, let me put it that way, you know, to ensure that, Accra is lit up. And this is what he promised. And so she was spearheading that. So what we have found out is that in most municipalities, some of the lights are not working. So it's a kind of wake-up call to ensure that those that are not working, we fix them. And more so, she promised she's giving us 100 per each district. So
during the Mills administration, they wanted to decongest Accra, so they created this yam market in Kotoku. They set up a fire center, a school. I think like a whole community was sprawling up there. But it appears a lot of these things have been abandoned. As a new mayor, what do you think can be done in that enclave to develop it further?
I'm very excited that you asked this question. You see, my vision is to create an enclave, just like a free zone area or industrial hub around the Kotoku, there of Kwashikuma. We have a vast land there. So if we are able to create jobs, bring industries there, I think that the issue of decongesting Accra will be reduced. And as mentioned earlier, when you are coming from the north, Ashanti region, Eastern region, the youth, they want to go to Accra. If they can find job around these places, you realize that they don't need to go to Accra, because Amasaman is the gateway to Accra. So when you get to Nsamom, you are still in the Eastern region. When you get to Amasaman, you are in Accra. So if they can have all this greener pastures they are looking for around this place, I think it's going to work. So we're using this opportunity to call upon international partners, investors, to concentrate and focus on Amasaman, because we have vast land there. And
but the land belongs to the chiefs, not the assembly. Can you guarantee that when investors come, you can easily get land for them?
Yes. I've already had a stakeholders engagement with the chiefs, and I've sold this idea to them. They have welcomed it. They are collaborators, and we want to do this together.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's the Honorable Municipal Chief Executive for Gan West, who is also the Dean of the MMDCs of Greater Accra, Desmond Nye, speaking to us here. This is Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. The one-week observation of the death of the Member of Parliament for Akwatia, the Honorable Ernest Kumi, has been held today in his constituency of Akwatia. Members of the New Patriotic Party, his family members, are expected to show up for that event, which was preceded by a vigil on Thursday. The event is coming off a few days before the by-election slated for September 2 in Akwatia. Our Eastern Regional Correspondent, Neonia Amate Kanaku, has more.
Hundreds of mourners, including former President Nana Akufo-Addo, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh and Minority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin gathered at the Achimwenchi Deba grounds to observe the 40-day remembrance of the late Member of Parliament for Akwatia, Ernest Yaokumi. The NPP General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kodua, expressed confidence that the people of Akwatia would honor the legacy of Ernest Kumi by voting for Solomon Asumedu to retain the seat.
Who are we to question our Lord? All of us will one day leave this earth. Ernest is gone, but the New Patriotic Party remains the New Patriotic Party. And as the Electoral Commission has given the green light, coming Tuesday, we are very optimistic that the good people of Akwatia will remember the trouble, will remember the difficulties, will remember the harassment, the intimidation that Ernest went through to reward their son, Solomon Kwame Asumedu, to take over the mantle and continue the good work which Ernest started but couldn't finish. So we are very sure that come Tuesday, the good people, our Lord, will also speak on our behalf. Thank you.
What began as a solemn event nearly turned chaotic when the national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, and his entourage arrived to commiserate with the bereaved family. Some visibly angry women and NPP supporters attempted to physically confront him and a security detail. The situation quickly escalated until the NDC team, supported by their own security, Ghana Police Service personnel later stepped in to reinforce order. It eventually took the intervention of the New Job South MP Michael Kofi-Otterebefi, Henry Nanabuachi, and the former Eastern Regional NPP Chairman Kingston Akumikisi to calm tensions. They cleared the way for Mr. Esiedu Nketia and his entourage to approach the dais where the former President Akufo-Addo and his vice Bawumia were seated to pay their respect. NDC Deputy General Secretary Mustafa Gbande described the incident as unfortunate.
NPP admits that they haven't developed the place. And so we have to get an MP that will partner with government to develop the constituency. And that is what exactly we saw the euphoria. They spoke for Issa. This is their Finland. It was as though they were not here until we came. So that is what exactly is going to happen on Tuesday. And so we are not too excited until the declaration on Tuesday.
Looking at the chaos that almost ensued here.
No, we don't see that as chaos. I mean, it's just their nature and how they do their things. But we are very civilized. This is very worrying also because at the back of the conversation to eschew violence, look at what they have done in a Finland. But it's good. I mean, we've taken a few out of it.
Now to some other stories. The Ghana Police Service has assured residents of Akwatia of maximum security ahead of the upcoming by-election, encouraging all eligible voters to turn out in large numbers to cast their ballots without fear. The following report has more.
As parliamentary candidates of the NDC and MPP intensify their campaigns for the hotly contested Akwatia seat, the Ghana Police Service has stepped up its security presence across the constituency to maintain peace and order during the by-election. Addressing the media in Akwatia, Director General of Operations COP Vance Babagariba reassured residents of the police service's commitment to delivering a smooth and transparent electoral process. In response to public concerns about military involvement, he stressed that soldiers will not be stationed at polling centers and will only be called in if absolutely necessary.
If you are not accredited to a polling station, you have no business at the polling station, with the exception of those legitimate voters who are going there to exercise their franchise. We may not infringe upon people's rights, preventing them from riding their motorbikes. However, these motorbikes will only be entertained 100 meters away from the polling stations. Let me also indicate that the military will be only on standby. As and when we need them, then we will deploy them. But if we don't need the military, we will not request for the deployment of the military. I want to reassure all the good people of Akwatia that they should come out in their numbers and exercise their franchise.
He further issued a strong warning, reiterating the Inspector General of Police's directive on zero tolerance for weapons at voting centres. COP Gariba cautioned that personal bodyguards of VIPs will not be permitted to carry arms within polling premises.
I want to add that the Inspector General of Police has announced zero tolerance for weapons. What it means is that even VVIP and bodyguards to ministers, parliamentarians will not be allowed to carry their sidearms or weapons into the polling stations.
Now, the 8 persons who assaulted Mavis Hawa-Kumsen, a former Minister of State, and 2 others during the Ablekuma North election rerun have been sentenced to fines of 500 penalty units each, or in default, to serve a 24-month prison term on all 4 counts. Jude Duncan was in court for us.
8 men who participated in violent disturbances during the Ablekuma North election rerun in 19 polling stations have been convicted and sentenced by the Accra Circuit Court. They have each been fined 500 penalty units or in default serve a 24-month prison term on all 4 counts. The presiding judge, Isaac Addo, noted that the convicts showed remorse and did not waste the court's time after pleading guilty to the charges. They were convicted on charges of conspiracy to commit a crime, to wit, assault, and 3 counts of assault. The 8 persons include Mohammed Abubakar, a private security personnel, Jinjani Mahmood, a driver, Prince Jakwasu, a businessman, and Anas Mohammed, an estate developer. The rest include Mohammed Hamda, a mechanic, Danko Otibu Samuel, a businessman, Musa Muntari, a station manager, and Alid Said, a businessman. Checks by Channel 1 News revealed that some other individuals captured during the incident were noticeably absent from the court proceedings. Counsel for the convicts, Nelson Ahmedowonu, however, refuted such claims.
You may see someone clearly that, oh, this is someone who has committed an offense to you. But as to whether the person has committed any offense for which the law can hold that person liable, because you cannot hold a person liable for any offense that is not stated in our criminal books. So if the police or the investigative bodies decide not to bring someone to court, that means the person, to the best of their investigation, the person has not committed any offense.
Omar Nuhu, who also serves as legal representative for the convicts, explained that the fines imposed were sufficient as a deterrent.
Now, these are people, young men who acted under the heat of the political passion, with opponents who are yet to be brought to book. And so, and again, when they were arrested, they cooperated fully with police throughout the investigations, which eventually culminated into they being brought to court. And they came to plead guilty simpliciter. By so doing, they did not waste the resources of the state. For us, we think that the court considered all these, gave it proper consideration as mentioned by the judge before passing the judgment. So yes, in the wisdom of the court or the judge, this was deterrent enough.
The presiding judge, after reading out his judgment against the 8 convicted in the Ablekuma North rerun violence case, also admonished the convicts to go out there as ambassadors against all forms of electoral violence. Reporting from the Accra Circuit Court, Jude Duncan for Channel 1 News.
You're still watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. To some other stories now. The Lojokuku Municipal Security Council (MUSEC) has initiated moves to restore calm in the Teshie traditional area following violent clashes that marred this year's Pokwe sprinkling ceremony on Tuesday, August 26, 2025. Channel 1 News' Elizabeth Kabuki Okanse reports.
NUSEC convened a stakeholder meeting with religious leaders, traditional elders, assembly members and concerned residents to address the disturbances. Sources indicate the meeting was briefly disrupted after a proposal to ban this year's Omowo festival triggered heated reactions. However, further deliberations resulted in an agreement for the council to meet the factions involved, build consensus, and draft guidelines for a peaceful celebration. In an interview with Channel One News, Chairman of the Municipal Council of Elders disclosed that NUSEC had initially considered seeking a court injunction to suspend the remaining Omowo activities.
The District Security Council has decided to put on hold to the remaining Omowo activities through a court injunction.
He explained that the council has since chosen dialogue with stakeholders, but warned that if consensus is not reached, security agencies acting under government directive would be compelled to implement measures to maintain order.
We have told them that it's better we contacted the key players and the people that we have identified who are causing these problems, to tell them to let peace prevail. Other than that, the security has the mandate and the support of the government to enforce those measures.
Meanwhile, NUSEC and stakeholders are expected to engage directly with the rival factions in a bid to secure lasting peace. Efforts to reach officials of the Lejukuku Municipal Assembly for comment proved unsuccessful.
The Lejukuku Municipal Security Council met with stakeholders today to find way forward to ensure peace within the Teshie Municipal Assembly. Reporting for Channel One News, I am Elizabeth Kabuki Okansi.
Now, as the Oti Region battles a surge in typhoid cases, concerns are shifting from the rising number to the everyday routines that keep communities at risk. With primary schools on vacation and pupils spending more time at home, health officials warn that the habits, including how families fetch, store and use water, could determine whether the outbreak eases or intensifies when children return to the classrooms in the weeks ahead. Volta Regional correspondent Desmond Salasiago has been investigating this and comes through with this report.
Health officials from the Ghana Health Service headquarters have begun visiting affected communities to assess the scale of the outbreak and work with local leaders on solutions. The visits are focusing on water sources and sanitation processes, which remain central to controlling the disease. Communities along the Oti River, where many households rely on untreated water, are appealing for stronger interventions to ensure safe and consistent supply. Residents fear that, without reliable measures, efforts to contain the outbreak will fall short. Some residents spoke to Channel One News.
Our water we are drinking is not good. Dirty. All the water is dirty. I get 50 years. But the water, if you see me myself, you see that I'm old age. But if we sleep or if we drink the water is dirty. You have to help us with that water is dirty. I'm patron sioni de no kware pa say ube treat my ebi o ha nsio to say ya na asese fi na de akogu nsio no mu nti ama nsio na ye poto ye nkwala na ebi o ha ho no mo sa na o ma no nsio na ye basa ye pensio kra no mo kra na ye de ye pe pipe akosa kra this year na nti sanse ya konya pipe ni asa ebi o so ye be ko no mo atu almost light off.
Meanwhile, local assemblies are stepping up education campaigns on safe water handling and storage while preparing schools with hygiene facilities before reopening. Assembly member for the Dambai Central Electoral Area, Charles Arwanyi, says improved water management and community sensitization will be critical in reducing infections among children and households.
I was a young son. I am a ebinom akɔnɛte ɔmo backhouse ne bibia de agu gutters mu nsuo tɔ a na ahoro agugu nsuo mu ebi nso nsuo tɔ a anadwo na wapagya no bɔɔla bibia na wabɛhwɛ ɛnam sɛ yɛntumi monitor bibia ntino na obia yɛ de ɔpɛ enti ne nyinaa so yɛhwɛ sɛ mpanyinfo de ɔmo na mbɛsi kɔ na pipe dodoɔ no amu atu na yɛayɛ hu dwuma.
Both residents and local leaders are urging government to prioritize the establishment of a water treatment system to provide a permanent solution.
Yɛne aban yɛntumi mbɛka sɛ ɔmo kɔtam sika kubuo bi ansa na yɛagye atu nsuo no da hɔ ɛno ano sɛ ɔmo di machines bɛba bɛsi ama ekuro no nyinaa anya nsuo ano.
Wavana tebeike wano echigokwo nami please sube nenye be minuti yala dolele ke made funami o
treat echiafi wado biango no terna treatment yala bia me mileza ya kwanse to wani nani.
With schools set to reopen soon, the MC for Kratchi West and Dean of MMDCs in the Oti Region says sensitization will be rolled out in schools across the region. He is also calling for urgent construction of water treatment plants to curb the crisis.
The preparation we are making before the reopening is to first of all sensitize the people who are actually selling food in the schools, and also sensitize the teachers on the need to make sure that there is proper scrutiny of the people that are selling food on their campus, where they draw their water from, and then also the quality of the water the people use in preparing the food.
Residents in the affected areas in the Oti region are calling on government to establish a water treatment center near the River Oti to prevent the spread of the typhoid disease. Reporting for Channel 1 in Kratchi East Municipality of the Oti region, my name is Desmond Salasha.
You're still watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. I am Umaru Sanda Amado. We take a break now. When we return, Bank of Ghana designates digital credit services as non-bank financial institutions. We'll be back with that story and others here on the Channel 1 Newsroom.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Hey Ghana, so you follow Miss Brother once more. If you it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the grades. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey you later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From Latveria, cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God up boom. If you put it, so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 #. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
It's now time for business news, and Netili Neti Ajahu has the latest for us.
Channel One Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you bank like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello and welcome to Channel One Business, proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. I am Netili Neti Ajaho. To our first story. As part of efforts to formalize Ghana's growing digital lending space, the Bank of Ghana has officially designated digital credit services as a non-bank financial service under the first schedule of the Non-Bank Financial Institutions Act 2008. This report has more details.
In a notice issued on Friday, the central bank explained that the move forms part of ongoing efforts to broaden access to the financial system and promote financial inclusion across the country. The bank clarified, however, that the designation does not amount to an automatic license for all entities currently operating under the law to provide digital credit services. Instead, a new regulatory framework to lay out the licensing requirements for the provision of digital credit service will soon be introduced. The development signals the central bank's intent to formalize and regulate the fast-growing digital lending space.
The Power Authority has reported total revenue of $139.7 million from energy dispatch in 2024, marginally above its target of $139.5 million. The performance, however, marks an 11.1% drop from the previous year. Daniel Sakiti has more in this report.
Despite the revenue decline, tighter cost controls lifted net profit to $64.5 million, almost double the target of $33.6 million. Acting Chief Executive Officer of Power Authority, Engineer Ko Edwakwa Sam, disclosed this during its annual general meeting.
Financially, we delivered a net profit of $64.5 million. BPA's net worth increased by 9.2% over the previous year. So, achieved a net worth of $755.2 million in the year 2024. However, our accounts receivable increased from 746 in the previous year to over $860 million.
Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, speaking on behalf of the sector minister, reaffirmed the government's commitment to addressing systemic challenges facing Power Authority, particularly revenue shortfalls.
The ministry recognizes the liquidity constraint Power Authority faces. And when I looked into your reports, I saw you are generating so high, but your receivables or receipts are lying down there. It's a collective responsibility, but the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition is going to lead that.
Finance Minister Dr. Kasiela Toforcing has called for a fairer approach to Africa's rising debt, which is now exceeding $1.3 trillion. He made the remarks in Accra after receiving a petition from the African Regional Organization of the International Trade Union Confederation and the Trades Union Congress Ghana. Emmanuel Opong has more in this report.
We call on Ghana to deliver this petition to all creditors with the following demands. And our core demands are as follows. 1. Total and unconditional cancellation of Africa's unsustainable external debts as an act of reparative justice. Free resources must be channeled into jobs, wages, social protection, climate resilience, and structural transformation.
This, among 7 other demands, is what the African Regional Organization of the International Trade Union Confederation, in partnership with the Trade Union Congress Ghana, is pressing for. They are calling on Africa's creditors, including the IMF, to cancel the continent's debt as a move for reparative justice. Receiving the petition on behalf of government, which is expected to be presented to Africa's creditors, Finance Minister Dr. Toforcing reiterated the urgent need for fair and comparable treatment of Africa's debt.
If the ordinary pensioner had to go through debt restructuring and forgo their pension to save the country, why shouldn't the World Bank also support? And so I perfectly agree with you that if we are talking of comparable treatment clause, there should be no exception. There should be no exemption. Multilateral development banks must also join the debt restructuring efforts and give something back to African countries that are going through this debt.
Acting Chief Executive of the Petroleum Commission, Victoria Hardcastle, says GNPC will start drilling the Volta Basin block in the first quarter of next year. She revealed this during a visit to the ZEAL Environmental Technologies plant in the Shama district. Channel 1 TV's Akwesi Ejay Enim reports.
As part of this mandate, Acting CEO Victoria Hardcastle toured ZEAL Environmental Technologies Nyan Chrome plant in the Shama district. She commended ZEAL for its pioneering role in petroleum waste management for Ghana's offshore production, but advised the company and other service providers to prepare for opportunities arising from GNPC's Volta Basin drilling.
We don't have much time, but Volta Basin onshore, please prepare for us. GNPC intends to drill by first quarter next year, and then we know that that is a game changer, and definitely more business for everybody in the industry, including ZEAL.
Board Chairman of ZEAL Environmental Technologies, Kweku Enin, thanked the Petroleum Commission boss for her visit and called on government to improve Ghana's investment climate to support indigenous companies like his.
We appreciate the visit so much because we had information about how the industry will go in the next couple of years. For local investors like ZEAL Environmental Technology that has actually put in so much in the area of waste management for the oil and gas industry, their expectation is that visits like this one from the Petroleum Commission will lead to government making sure that it makes the country more attractive to investment so that their investment will not go waste. For Channel 1 TV News, I'm Akwesi Ejay in Takrado.
Let's now go on to the interbank market and check how the local currency is performing. And that's it for Channel 1 Business. It was proudly brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. I am Nete Ajaho.
Does Ghana need a new presidential jet? The conversation has returned to the spotlight, sparking intense public and political debate, particularly following the tragic helicopter crash. Channel 1 News' Manu Ayama has been tracking the discussions, speaking to key voices, and brings us this report on a question dividing opinion across the country.
Ghana's Falcon 900 EX Easy presidential jet built in France, was commissioned in 2010 to replace the Agent Fokker 27, an aircraft that served the country for 37 years and was notoriously dubbed the flying coffin over safety concerns. For the past 5 months, however, the Falcon has been grounded in France, far beyond its expected return due to extensive maintenance challenges.
The fuel tank is also corroded. The left-hand feeder tank corroded. Right-hand feeder tank corroded. Left-hand center wing tank heavily corroded.
Since 1962, Ghana has purchased 4 jets for the presidency. The most recent and of course commissioned in 2010 is the Falcon 900 EX Easy. Now, after 15 years of service, has this time come to an end? Well, let's speak to aviation consultant engineer Benjamin Owusu.
Some of the sea check can take 6 weeks, others 8 weeks, others 4 weeks, depending on the scope of task for that particular. So every task has its time interval. Now, you heard they were talking about corrosion, it was corroded, and so on and so forth. There is nothing new about it. Let me break it down to, let's say, our own vehicles that we have. We know we would also do body works, isn't it? The same thing as aircraft.
While heavy maintenance is routine for all aircraft, whether private or commercial, the conversation has taken on urgency amid rising travel costs and growing security concerns.
Overdue, you need about 3 executive jets. You will need to get about 4 choppers for the military. The police will need additional 3 choppers. Fire service will be glad to have about 2 to 3 choppers. When the Doom fire happened, I went there, and if you look at the traffic around the Doom area there, if the fire service have a chopper, they can come by air and make sure they put up the fire.
Some Ghanaians shared this view, linking the need for a new jet to the tragic helicopter crash.
The first one is an old version or an old model that they need that thing needs to be taken from the system long term.
The security of our leaders should not be joked with. We should be able to make sure our leaders to be well secured.
Now, when it comes to the presidential jet, they should exercise patience. The aircraft is going through the due maintenance that it's supposed to do, and definitely once they are done and then they conduct the air test and everything, the aircraft will come back to its airworthy state.
The need for Ghana to use a presidential jet is driven by several factors such as security concerns and travel costs. But what the future holds for Ghana in this regard remains unseen. Reporting for Channel One News, I am Manuel Ayama.
The family and management of legendary high-life musician Daddy Lumba have announced a last-minute change to the venue for this one-week observance. The event, still scheduled for Saturday, August 30, 2025, has been relocated to the Black Star Square in Accra, where a candlelight vigil held in his honor also took place weeks ago. Originally planned for the University of Ghana Stadium, the observance was shifted following a formal reminder from the last State Council about a ban on noise-making in the area from August 11, 2025 to September 5, 2025.
Planning committee for no na yetidium kind am science no penning for HRS yen for that the Lumba ne na watchida no yen some venue no every Legon Sports Complex University of Ghana yen fan call Independence Square nature Independence Square Black Star Square it is a Ghana for moti near more train some esremo mon fan chain nim semodo Charles K Fosu Mosando Abusia and so count as a papa toy Mataichi Amabia. It's a venue for 1 week observation of the late Charles K. Fosu. Yena Yadinano Abusia ye free a year Lagos Sports Complex they called Independence Square, nature Black Star Square. Saturday 30th August 2025. How be a diabre mobile no? And I'm Lumba, and a hodo, and a busia hodo intino. Yes, Remo. On fan chain, I'm a busia.
You're still watching Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Still ahead. Redevelopment of Esipon Stadium nears completion. Pitch ready for league matches. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
His uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. Asking the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
The second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God down for boom. If you put it so would the coming of the son of man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. It's always smiles knowing we are together. Work is always effective with NASCO home appliances.
If it not be you, then who go there?
Classic home appliance for the fisher folks. And Nijepa, I want NASCO fie. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
It's time for the latest in the world of sports, and I'm crossing over now to my colleague Bernard Abeku-Ochre of the Channel 1 Sports Desk.
Well, the Accra Sports Stadium is the only approved venue for, CAF activities, i.e. the Black Stars are able to play. Now, the nature of this pitch guarantees us the opportunity to be playing our game against Mali here in next month. Now, also elsewhere, the long-awaited development of the Secondary Sports Stadium in Esipon, well, it's nearing completion with refurbishment now ready to host football activities. Well, the Western Regional Director of the National Sports Authority, Joseph Alabi Bote, confirms the stadium is ready and competitive to host important games here in the country. He says electrical works are nearing completion and replacement of damaged seats are also expected to follow in due course. The project marks a major step in restoring the Esipon facility into a modern venue capable of hosting unique competitions and local football activities here in the country.
As we speak, and as you can see, the roof structure, which is a major challenge which called for the renovation of the facility, has been completed and has been done nicely, as you can see. The other works that are currently ongoing is plumbing works, fixing of WCs, and some plumbing works are also ongoing. You can see the materials also there, even at the front there. This one is natural grass, not a sprayed one. It has undergone a reparation cycle from February, and we are about completing the cycle for the pitch rehabilitation that is done by ourselves, because the pitch was not part of the contract. What we are yet to see is the electrical works, which my understanding is that they are yet to give an approval. However, we have to also commend the Honorable Minister, the Minister of Sports and Recreation. He sent some team of inspection to the region. They came to do a thorough inspection of the facility, every facet of the facility, including the auxiliary facilities that have not been touched.
Elsewhere, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola is backing his side to respond after last week's defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. The champions were beaten in a repeat of last season's struggles, where their title defense faltered and they finished outside the top two of the league for the first time under Guardiola. City now turn their focus on Brighton, with Guardiola confident his squad has the quality and resilience to bounce back after, quite a recent poor performance and make sure they get back on track.
Target, but it's one game at a time. So the season just started 2 games. Yesterday we enjoyed the qualification for the Champions League last season, so we're going to be there in the elite of European football, and just 2 games, I had the feeling that we'll do a good season. So I know the people maybe don't believe it, but despite what's going to happen last season, last game, or maybe Sunday, we're going to do a good season.
And you've spoken about wanting to manage the minutes for Rodri. He's been named in the Spain squad today. Are you okay with that? Have you had a chat with him or the national team about it?
No, never spoke with the manager from Spain, never. But we spoke with Rodri, and of course he feels better, and needs minutes, and I think they talk each other, and they decide selected.
Well, that's the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abekochi.
But that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Channel One Newsroom. I am Umaru Sandamadu. Thank you so much for watching us.